All right. Welcome to Rich Conversations. This is going to be another fantastic episode. I love talking to software engineers, and we have Jenny joining us all the way from Lima, Peru. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Of course. I'm Jenny. I'm from Lima. I'm a software developer. Right now, I'm working in a startup in the front-end side. I had a background in management. Well, I studied economics, but for around 7-8 years, I was working in management. Then I decided to change careers. I'm a career changer, and well, during this pandemic, I learned the skills, the stacks to work as a developer for the front-end side and the backend side. And I'm here in Lima since I was born. I'm
Wow.
100% Peruvian.
Yeah. What's the general vibe of Lima, would you say?
Oh, the general vibe. Well, Lima is a modern city. Like it's like a diverse city. I like to go to Miraflores to walk next to the beach or the sea and to see the sunsets. I think it differs from the other cities because the most important difference is the altitude. We have
Okay.
in my country has 3 regions. Okay, the coast, which where I come from, Lima, is in the coast in the center.
Mhm.
We have the highlands of Peru, which is beautiful, and the jungle side, that it's in the other side of Peru, which is
Yeah.
very, very sunny, very hot. But I loved the highlands. I miss go doing hikings, like hike up mountains to see spectacular views from there. You need to be in shape actually to hike up those mountains, but at the end, the effort is worth it. Like you will see beautiful landscapes in the
How often do you
highlands.
go to the Highlands?
Before the pandemic, I would say 2, maximum 3 times per year. So
Okay.
I know well my country, especially the highlands.
Mm.
Yeah.
What's the weather like there right now? It's snowing here in Chicago as we're recording
It's
this.
summer. It's hot here. I forgot to turn on my fan. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, you were saying before we were recording that it's too hot.
Yeah, but the window is open. I think it's enough.
Yeah, see, I have my space heater going on. It's interesting. Nice weather.
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, people in Peru, what do they value most?
Uh, I believe that Peru, we in general are very friendly and warm. And we like to be, we appreciate honesty and transparency. For example, we hate when we discover politicians involved in corruptions problems.
Okay.
That happened a lot here until recently, like we hate that. But besides that, we also, I consider that we are also hardworking people. We are hardworking people. We like to achieve our goals, no matter the obstacles, to have a quality life. I believe that, yeah, the Peruvian people are like that.
Yeah, it certainly seems like you hold those values.
Yeah, maybe I'm describing myself. Yeah.
Okay, so describe like the like sights and sounds and smells of Lima.
Oh, yeah. The sights, my favorite side of Lima is the sea, to be able to see the sea, from the Miraflores boardwalk. It's
Okay.
beautiful to watch the sunsets. Um, The sounds, I think the car horns. We have a lot of traffic, especially in rush hours. So I think it's normal in every city, in everywhere. But that's what I came out to my mind when you asked me that about the sounds of Lima. The noise of the people walking on the streets, the car horns. The smell, I will say the sea. Yeah, I live near to the sea, like 20 minutes. So maybe I'm talking.
Okay, that's just about to ask you, like, how far is it taking you to the sea?
Yes.
Wow. So is
the sea is like 5 kilometers, like 20 minutes by car. Yeah.
Okay. Now is there
not in front of, but near? Yeah, I'm lucky to
is
live
the sea along like a like, are there beaches, or is the coast really rocky?
It has beaches with rocks or stones, and also with sands. Like the water of the sea is cold, but in summer it's hot because of the sun, and it's salty. But it's not so clean like here in Lima. The beaches of Lima not so clean like, for example, in the north. I recommend to go to the north if you want to do surfing, you want to go to the beach. The views and the sea are more cleaner than in Lima.
Okay.
Yeah, go to the north of Peru.
So if someone is visiting Lima in Peru, what would you recommend them doing? Say if they're here for like 5 days, 7 days.
I think it's enough 2-3 days. I definitely recommend to go to Miraflores district. Like I said, the walking, ride a bike, and go to the Miraflores boardwalk to watch the sea, to watch the sea near the boardwalk. Also go to the parks. The parks of Miraflores are beautiful. Also from San Isidro, which is another district, and Surco. I'm saying this because they are, I think, the most safer districts in Lima. Okay. But they are more organized, more cleaner, and beautiful. And more, Miraflores is very cosmopolitan, I would say, because you will see a lot of tourists there.
Okay. Where would you say that the tourists are typically from? Where are they visiting from?
I met people from Canada, from America. I one time met a Jewish, an Indian guy, and Pakistan. Okay. Yeah.
So all over.
Also Brazil, a lot of Brazilian people here.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Latin America, of course, people from Colombia, Argentina, Chile. Yeah.
Yeah, all over the continent.
All over the continent, yeah. And I recommend going to, besides Miraflores, going to Barranco. Barranco is the Lima's hippiest bohemian neighborhood. You will love Barranco.
What is this place called?
Barranco.
Okay.
Barranco. It's beautiful. There are a lot of things you can do, from going to boutiques, stores, to checking out the colorful streets. You feel it's a very bohemian, very artistic district. There are a lot of painters, musicians living there. It's beautiful.
Okay.
And museums, also the museums are beautiful. Some of them are very, they are still very colonial, from the colonial era.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the architecture?
And also the Lima Lima Center, the architectural palaces and balconies are beautiful. And definitely you won't miss, you have to try ceviche and pisco sour. They are the most well-known dishes and beverage or drink. Pisco sour. Pisco is a typical beverage or drink from Peru.
I like the
pisco sour and ceviche. Ceviche, that's It's everywhere.
Chichi Morado. I like that a lot.
Chicha morada.
Yeah. It's so
from
good.
Corn, from purple. No,
Yeah,
chicha
the purple corn.
morada from purple corn. Yeah, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you transition from like management to now like software development and engineering? What sparked your interest in it?
Yeah. I remember that I was in lockdown. I eventually lost my last job in management. Then I figured that because of this situation, this pandemic, many small and medium businesses will need to go online. So I was searching on internet and decided to learn tech skills to build e-commerce platforms to help them. So I was looking for boot camps and e-learning courses online, here in Peru, also abroad, outside Peru. And I found out one that liked me the most, called Microverse from San Francisco, that recruits people or students from everywhere, because potential is everywhere.
Yeah.
So I learned that the stats or the technical skills for front-end and back-end development. For around a year. Yeah, I remember for around a year I was learning a lot of stuff from those sites. Then a few months later, I found out my first job in a startup, working in an e-commerce project. I'm basically doing refactoring a lot of code, improving the code, testing, adding more features, and while I'm working remotely from home.
Wow. Can you describe the difference between front-end development and back-end?
Yeah, front-end, it's what you see on the website.
Okay.
It's the user interface, that we call it like that. For example, what you
UI, right?
UI, yes,
yeah.
But you visually see in the website, like the navbar, the tabs, the body of the page, the content of the page, the sidebar, the footer, the interactions that you can do in the page itself. In the backend, you manage, let's say, in simple words, the databases of the websites or the apps.
Wait, say that again. The backend.
The backend is like you cannot see it as a client or as a user, but it's the site where developers manage, let's say, data. I'm pronouncing it correctly. Data. And we create their algorithms or logic. We put their algorithms or logic with controllers, models, to make the functionalities in the website work. To show data information on the website side of the page or app.
So is that like I don't know, this is probably different. Like so if I have a WordPress website, people see the interface of it, but there's like a back end to it where I have to do all this stuff. Not exactly coding though. Is that the same or is it different? I mean, you're coding.
It's coding. It's coding. You can manage the server, the data, and you can store data from links that you need to show in your websites. Like links from other websites. You can store the information in the database, and the database store it, manage it, and depending on what you want to do with that data, you code the logic, you program them to show in the website, in the front end side with a framework, for example, React, that helps you to show the user interface with that information, with that data. And with Android, like that's for mobile, for example. It's a framework for mobile.
Do you work like exclusively Android or iOS or both? Or
I learned Android. I learned Android, but not right now. I'm focusing on front end for websites. Eventually, I'm curious to learn React Native, which is a framework to develop apps with Android.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will, and eventually I will move from website to mobile, because I don't see myself working only on the website with one framework or with one library of the rest of my life. So now that you will be doomed if you do that as a developer. You need to learn new stacks, new skills to update your knowledge.
Yeah.
Every day.
Elaborate on that. So like, as a software developer, you have to constantly be learning new ways to do things, right?
Yes, exactly. Every time, yeah.
Or you said you'll be doomed?
You'll be dead. You know, like
oh, you're dead. Yeah, same thing.
Career. I don't know if that's the right word, but you will feel like it's the end of your career. You don't have much to learn, or you don't want to learn something new, because it's a long learning career for me. Mm-hmm. Every developer is going to agree with that, I believe.
Do you feel like in your opinion, is more stuff going to be mobile or like websites? Like, are we phasing out of websites to do more mobile, or?
I don't think laptops are going to disappear. So no, we will still need websites in a short term, a long term. So no, I think they're going to evolve, both of them. Yeah, they're going to. Many companies are going to require to have a website and mobile at the same time. An app.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious if one was more important than the other, but it sounds like they're both.
No, I don't think both. For me, both are important.
Okay.
Going to be important for clients, for users.
What would you say, like?
Because everyone have mobile or a phone.
Yeah.
I think I don't think poverty is going to decrease. Maybe it does, but I believe that the majority of people will have at least a laptop, a basic laptop that you can search on internet and check out websites. So yeah, both for me are important. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels pretty rare for someone to just have like one type of screen or device, right? People have like multiple ones, it seems like.
Yeah, but I think I saw, you remind me something. Samsung launched, I forgot the name of this phone or mobile, but it's a big phone. It's a mix of tablets and phone. You can fold it. Really? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You can fold it in two, and when you open it, you will have like a small tablet. Sorry. So yeah, maybe in 10 years, mobile is going to be important, because you will have a phone that you can open up into, and you will have a tablet. And I think the tablet is enough for your eyes to use what you want. Yeah.
What would you say, like, in like this information age that we're kind of in, what's the role of like software engineers and developers, and how do you see it evolving over the next 20 years?
Developers, software engineers, we are going to be in high demand. We are in high demand right now, but we are still going to be in high demand in the next few years. I think many companies will require at least one or two developers, even if it's a small or a large company. And we are going to be essential workers for them, for many companies, from any industry. or crucial employees. I think we're going to be involved more in AI and blockchain more than now, and also in e-commerce and mobile development. I remember I read or heard back then that there are not enough developers for the companies right now. But I believe that in the future, in 7-8 years, we're going to feel that gap, because right now we have a lot of boot camps, e-learning courses, so more people are interested in this industry, while the demand of developers are increasing from many companies. So yeah, they're going to be important, and also we are going to shape our society with the products that are going to build, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I become a developer, because I want to make an impact on society with the products that I build within a team of developers. That's my mission on life too. Yeah.
Wait, say that again. So your mission in life is to contribute to society.
To that. Yeah. To contribute to the society with the products I can build as a developer. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting. In like.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future, man. I mean, we want to at least we want to have robots in our houses.
What are you like most excited for in the future? Like what, like your imagination? What do you?
Yeah.
What do you see?
Maybe I will need more years of experience in this industry, but I will say that in the future, wow, it's going to be interesting and excited. I'm excited to see that, experience that, because I believe AI is going to be huge. It's going to be important in our lives. I saw some robots. Maybe we will have at least one robot in our houses, and we will going to link our brains to computers with Neuralink. We're going to travel on other planets. I think it's going to be more automated than now, because, for example, and also it's going to create, let's say, a problem for people, because many jobs are going to disappear. You know what I mean? For example, taxi drivers are going to disappear. Right now, Tesla is building electric cars, automated cars. Also, waiters and waitresses are, I believe, they are going to disappear, because you can order your favorite foods or dishes from an app or from a website. Yeah, I think that we are going to be in a different society in 10 years, 20 years.
Yeah, go ahead.
The problem is that we're going to have less jobs. So yeah, that's the downside of that, you know. To be in an more automated life, like with gadgets and the technologies we're going to experience or have in the future in our lives, in our houses.
So there's going to be this, I mean, we're already seeing it, but like, because technology is making so many things more efficient, it's disrupting how things have been. So the traditional jobs that of the 20th century are kind of being phased out. And so we have to create kind of new jobs in a way, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What can you tell me more about blockchain? I want to better understand it.
I wish I can have more knowledge about blockchain. It's a pending subject I need to explore and improve that. But you can see that it's in cryptocurrencies. You can have cryptocurrencies in your online wallets without being managed from a bank, you know, like, and that's a good thing. I would love to invest more in cryptocurrencies, like I'm feeling like left behind if I don't do that. Maybe it's fears, or maybe, like I said before, I don't have much knowledge, but I need to put my hands on it now, because it's going to be more important. Cryptocurrencies, like there's going to disappear the physical money eventually.
Yeah. So this past week was the first time that I have put effort into learning more about cryptocurrency, because I hear all about it, and I know what's going on. I know, but there's that learning curve of it's so for me, this is something I always struggle with, is the learning curve and the pain it causes to just I watched so many YouTube videos this week on how to set up a wallet, and what does this mean, and what does that mean?
You have to, a lot of stuff.
I will say the what's nice about all the cryptocurrency and the apps and stuff is that they're so freaking user friendly. The way they're designed, it's just so simple.
Yeah.
Whereas so many other things on the internet are so complicated, they make it really simple, I feel like. And that's nice.
Yeah, you don't need to be an expert, but you have to be careful while you're investing, because it's not stable. I don't know the word right now, but
it's very new. I'm not investing, but I'm at least setting up the platforms for myself.
I need to set up time to learn the basics and have at least $1,000 to invest that I won't regret later, because you can lose money at the beginning or not, you don't know. So you have to have $1,000 that you won't regret later from your savings, at least,
Jenny,
try and error at the end.
This week was so frustrating for me, just setting all of that up, and it's easy, but then there's all these little snags, and it's just I don't know, but I'm almost through it now.
Yeah, good.
If you can understand what I'm saying.
Did the first step. Yeah.
I have to, so I use this wallet, but then I buy it on this exchange, and then I have to transfer it here, but then I have to connect my bank over here. But what if I use PayPal? Then I can,
Yes. You're gonna get used to it, yeah. Believe me.
So explain.
I'm dealing with difficult stuff right now, so don't worry.
But it's better to do it now than down the road, I would feel, right?
Yeah, especially that the price is increasing. Well, now it's decreasing, as what I heard lately, but decrease and increase, you need to invest when it's low, the price is low, to have a revenue later.
So what exactly?
That's I can say.
So you log into this app or the site, right? There's so many different tokens and currencies. How is it? Is there a different blockchain for each token or currency?
Different blockchain.
Is there one just big blockchain, or are there multiple blockchains?
I think it's just one that manages.
Just one?
Okay. Each cryptocurrency.
Okay.
Yeah. I was saying more, but I don't want to mess up if I say something wrong. And I'm not sure. I need to look it up and give you more information. But you remind me that I need to put my hands on it and start now, because we're going to be left behind. We don't do that. We need to invest in cryptocurrency.
Yeah, isn't it an interesting time that we live in?
I know. The beginning is intimidating when you don't know shit, but you will go through it. Yeah, you will adapt to it quickly. You will find out that, oh no, why didn't invest in this before? Gosh, but yeah, like I said, you had to start with $1,000. That's what I heard people recommended me.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it's been overwhelming this week trying
Yes.
to figure this out.
So
I watched a lot of
that
YouTube
happens all the
tutorials.
time when I learn something new.
How often do you
I understand.
use YouTube to learn? Like tutorials or how to do stuff?
Every day. I mean, when
Yeah.
I learn something new from Android, for example, or from React, I check the documentation of React or articles about it from other developers. And then I feel like I'm more visual. Then I search on YouTube. I have that I think it's like all the time I use YouTube to learn something new. Like if I don't understand quite well some concepts on the documentation, I check on internet and check on YouTube someone that can explain me better that with examples and easy
Yeah,
way.
like you can record your screen while you're doing it. And it's so nice because it's right there. You know what everything looks like. It's pretty nice.
Yes.
So what would you say?
Very useful. We are happy that it's free because imagine if you have to pay for it. It's like
Did you pay for your course? What was it, Microverse, or is that free, or how did that work?
It's not free, but I won't pay nothing until I land my first job. I will have to pay like 15% of my salary of my income every month.
Yeah.
If I earn more than $1,000, if I'm not, or if I'm not working on development, then I won't pay nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
upfront.
Yeah, I am curious about like those types of like training and education tools. It's like that is so much more cost effective, it seems, than like
5 years.
Yeah. So it's interesting, like what you're saying too is there's potential in everybody around the world. So the more people that have access to this and are able to do this at a cost-effective rate, it can only be good for society, right?
Yeah. And I think this pandemic brought more people in this industry because of that, because of the e-learning courses and the boot camps. I studied economics, but I saw chefs and musicians, teachers, other engineers from different backgrounds, learning how to program websites and apps. So it's a social thing or movement that I saw experience, or the world is experienced more because of this pandemic, because everyone is at the beginning of this pandemic was in lockdown, right? In their house, stuck in their house, and you ended up using your internet, your laptop to learn something, or if you're lazy,
something to do with your time. Huh.
Yeah.
This is going to be such a fascinating time, like looking back in history, or like when this time becomes history, or I suppose every second is history, but like how people, I'm so fascinated, like the studies or whatever comes out years from now of how people spent their time during this, and like just the changes in behavior. Like it's going to be so interesting, I feel like.
Yes. It's not easy to change careers, but I heard that in America, in Europe, many people do that, right? It's very common there, like to have 2 or 3 careers.
I think even more so. It feels like,
yeah.
Well, I think what we're seeing, what's happening, and I think you touched on it earlier, is like you're working with like small and medium-sized businesses in e-commerce, right?
Enica, in
In
Lima.
yeah.
I'm working for a startup from Utah. So
Okay.
no, but I was planning to help small and medium businesses to have an e-commerce platform. That was
Yeah.
my initial idea when I joined a bootcamp.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think
Yeah, eventually as a consultant in the future, I can do that as a freelancer.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
need to
like
do freelance for now. So
it seems like there's more access to e-commerce for more people. So I
yeah.
think as the future, as we keep going here, people are just going to find like multiple ways to generate income in e-commerce for themselves.
Yeah.
So maybe like, does that make sense? Like instead of like one job for a long period of time, being able to like take advantage of working remotely and doing like multiple things at once. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an advantage of that let us that leave this pandemic. Like many people and companies are going to adapt to that platforms. To teach from online courses, to sell stuff, products, services from online platforms or websites. Yeah, it's going to be more and more on that from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's almost like we have like two things happen at
It's
once. We have like the pandemic, but then the
yeah.
like compounding in technology where these like they're coming together and it won't be the same again. It's going to be like something new when we emerge out of this, I feel like.
Yes. Yes, it's going to change our lives. Our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was I
and
was
shape our society. Yeah,
I was
definitely.
we had a recording earlier this week with someone who's like in airport operations, and I was asking him about like the future of like flying. What does it look like 10, 20 years? And he's really curious about that because COVID has really affected
Yeah.
the aviation industry. And he thought that it used to be before like businesses would send people very often to like fly and meet with someone in another place. But
Yeah.
now that you can like meet remotely, the like business class on airplanes will probably be fewer and fewer. So it'll be like
Yes.
catered more towards like leisure flying, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I think we won't need to, for work at least, for example, we will need to fly from one city to another. Many jobs are going to keep remote jobs. Like it's going to be like this more often than ever. I mean, even if you're working in technology or you are a community manager, especially because community manager is easy to work remote in every part of the world. But management too, you can manage a company from your home and arrange meetings every day, every day, every week with Zoom and Google Meets. I mean, I don't think it will be less essential to travel. Only when if you want to have vacations in another city, visit a friend or family. But for work, no, I don't think we are going to need to
What
spend
about
money in business seats in the planes.
what about this? What do you think? Do you think there will be more travel because now people are freed up to work wherever because they can work remotely? So
Yeah.
they could literally now they have the freedom. Before it was like you have to come to this building every single day and be here. But now they can work remotely. Will there be more travel or do you think less travel because now people can just stay in one
That's
place?
a, let's say, tricky question because I still keep the idea of if we work remotely, we depend on the personality of the people. I mean, if you don't like to, if you prefer to be in your comfort zone and work from home, you won't need to travel more, but only on vacations. But the other side is that some works will allow you to give you more freedom, more personal freedom or free time to travel and work everywhere. If you want to meet, know new cultures, meet new people, if you have that in your personality, if you want to do that, I think you're going to, and even better if you have a remote job like me, and eventually you're going to travel more. Yeah, definitely. And I think it depends on the people. I won't say no, we want to travel more and that's it. No, it's like I will be close-minded if I say that 100% sure.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
I think it's depends on the people, like
So
I met people that don't like to travel, don't like to go to the highlands and experience the altitudes or but also I met people like they want to experience those things. They like to like to travel and meet know new cultures and more. So depends on the people. Yeah.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer having just like your same like a setup that you have and like this is my setup, or do you find yourself kind of going around a little bit?
I miss travel. I mean, I didn't travel much abroad, but more here in Peru because, well, back then was affordable for me with my previous jobs. But yeah, I prefer that eventually I will travel more. I will travel more. The first stages of your career as a developer, it's not easy, like it takes time to solve problems while you are programming a website, for example, or an app. So it takes much time that the company require you to work. But I will make up time to travel more eventually and work from any city. That's one of the reasons that I joined change careers, basically, because I was burnt out with my previous jobs. Because also I was working like 50 hours per week, more or less, even more.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In a week. So yeah, I was like tired. I like it because it's management. It's you deal with people, but sometimes it's stressful. But now I have the option to travel more and work from everywhere. So I would love to experience that. I have more freedom, more free time. Not free time for the moment because I'm just starting my career as a developer. But yeah, I have more freedom to be able to do that, to have the opportunity to travel more and work from everywhere.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so I will use that. Yeah, eventually, maybe at the end of the year. Yeah.
Well, shifting gears a little bit to a more personal level, I'm trying to create this like Spotify playlist of songs that guests recommend to me. Do you have 3 songs that you're listening to a lot recently that I can put on this list?
Oh yeah. I listen to rock music, electronic, also pop and hip hop sometimes.
Okay.
But I grew up listening to a lot of classic rock because of my dad. Since I was a little, I grew up listening to classic rock, Beatles, Led Zeppelin. But besides that music I was listening at home, I was, of course, when I grew up, I was listening what my friends was listening back then in the late 90s and early 2000s. So like pop music, basically. Yeah. And also music from Peru, but right now I still have those tastes. I still have. I consider myself like a rocker person.
Do you?
But I love electronic. I love to dance electronic music. And right now I'm more like in the pop and electronic side. So I'm listening the new stuff that The Weeknd, Grimes released lately. I love those artists.
So The Weeknd,
Grimes. Yeah, I love that. The videos also are really, really creative and really good. I love them.
Who?
The videos
the videos?
they release for the new songs. Yeah, they are really creative.
Do you have a favorite song of each of those?
All ones or
ones you're listening to right now? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Grimes. If you don't know Grimes was the last girlfriend of Elon Musk. I need to say that because
they're not together anymore.
No, they are not together anymore, but they have a child with a weird name that I cannot pronounce.
It's like a number or something. It's like a serial number.
Yeah. So funny and creative. Yeah, but
Grimes, The Weeknd. Is there another artist I can put on there?
You need to hear her. My favorite song from her. It's Go. Okay. And the last ones also they are really good, but not as Go. But I love the new stuff that they released. That I think Grimes evolved really, really well. I mean, the new stuff is pretty decent. I loved it. It grew up on me when I started listening more and more and more. And The Weeknd also, I love all the old songs. I wouldn't choose one at the moment, but you should check it out. Their songs.
Do you like The Weeknd's new album?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Some songs, not all of them. But the previous album was really good. I love most of the songs, the majority of the songs of the last album.
Okay.
Comparing to this one. But I love the ones that he released it. Yeah.
Okay. Are there 3 people or things that have influenced your outlook on life, whether it be like people, books, films, art, 3 things that have influenced your outlook?
Yeah. Do you hear the background noise? Okay, here. I think they are selling internet.
What's that?
They are selling internet service.
Oh.
It's where, yeah. It's not often. It doesn't happen often. I don't know. Maybe it's walking seller. I don't know. I don't know how to call it. Like,
is it people in the room or something, or what's it from?
No, it's outside on the street. Because my room is in front of. It has a window that's in front of the street, so it's, sometimes it gets a bit noisy. And well, I'm living next to the local market, so sometimes we have like let's say people that sells fruits on the street, and they are screaming. I don't know how to call it, megaphone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have like watermelons, bananas, bayes, blah blah blah, and also people that sells bread. Also, they passing by with a bicycle.
So the noise that we're hearing is outside your windows by a local market.
Yeah, because for local market, people are staying in the stand, right? But we have also on some streets in Lima, not every street. Well, I'm living in downtown Lima, so this happens often here in downtown Lima. Yeah. I'm not living in the northern Lima, where it's Miraflores, San Isidro, blah blah blah, Surco. But in downtown Lima, you will experience those themes, like people selling food outside on the street. It's like you have your own delivery, especially bread, ice cream, and fruits. with a megaphone or with a, I don't know, with a sound, a particular sound that identify those sellers. You know, like it's that's why it's a little bit noisy sometimes, and it get me. At the beginning, was embarrassed on the meetings, but I understand that in Latin America, that happens. That happen often.
It's not too disruptive at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I have a question. Are there like 3 people or things that have influenced your outlook on life?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have a specific or special people, because I believe that people are people. We make mistakes sometimes. We can admire some persons or people because of the work or the achievements of what they do or they did. But I would say my mom and my dad, because they taught me good things too. For example, my mom has been through a lot of stuff since she was young, so she told me to be resilient. You know, like I take that example from her story, to know what she has been through since she was a little. She molded me in that way to be more resilient, to be strong. And from my dad, I think to be bold, to don't be afraid of what people will think because of your decisions or your thoughts, and to be more independent, to not depend on others. That's what he told me when he was alive. So yeah, to be strong and independent.
Yeah.
Both of them, they told me that. And besides mom and dad, I would say the movie Matrix.
The Matrix?
I would like to mention that. Maybe it's because I was one of the last movies that I watched.
Okay.
But I remember when I was really young. Well, I was a kid when the movie came out, the first one. But a few years later, I watched it. It blown my mind, because, well, I was impressed because I saw a woman kicking ass there.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand well the concept of the movie, but it was fun to watch it because it's a lot of action there. But when I watched it again, I ended up believing that maybe we are living in a simulation. You know, we are not living in a. It's this my real life, and also I remember that. Well, I think I will say that I still have those thoughts from now and then, you know, especially this pandemic started. I believe that there are people, powerful people controlling us, you know, like shaping our, let's say, our world, society, even with this pandemic. I still believe that, you know, but that I remember when I was young, that those thoughts came up to my mind, but now that I grew up, I'm older. I'm aware of that. I'm still aware of that. Those thoughts. I think that movie blew my mind. In a way, you know, like I know that movies speak metaphorically, especially this one. So you need to check it out and check it twice, you know, to get some minutes.
Yeah. On that note, what's something you're curious about recently?
Curious about maybe to travel more, to meet new cultures, to meet. I'm planning to go to Europe, visiting some countries there, and also learning new technology, you know, like React Native, like I told you. Learning new technologies, new stats.
So new
That's
technology in like coding or like in general, different technologies?
for coding and also gadgets. I would love to have more gadgets here, like a mini robot. I don't know, maybe. I would love to have that.
What would the
Help me to
robot
cook.
do? To cook
I
for
need a
you?
robot to help me to cook. I don't know. But yeah, it's basically technology, like new stuff for coding or new gadgets. I'm interested in those. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, this has been a fabulous conversation. I have one last question for you. And I guess you kind of touched on it, but what's something that excites you about the next 2 years?
Uh, how technology is going to shape our society, our lives. It's going to change our lives. And also, I'm excited to see that users, clients are using my app or my website.
Yeah.
Like that's what I looking for to see, to experience while I'm starting to build my website now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be incredible feeling.
That's
When
awesome.
experience that when it's launch there. Oh my god, I did that. Something like that.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for sitting down and chatting with me today. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for inviting me. It was really fun to do this podcast. Yeah.